Again. Today, I'm going to talk about narcissism, more to the point whether or not you are dating someone who is self-centered or, in fact, a narcissist. Before I start, I want to make a quick disclaimer that I'm not a therapist or a doctor. The information that I offer comes from my personal experience, my clients' experiences, whom I have full permission to discuss, and work that I've done with therapists. So I have been hearing the word narcissist thrown around so loosely lately, especially by those describing their ex-partners, whether it was a relationship or a marriage. And the thing that really sticks out for me is how often it is used to refer to someone who is self-centered or self-absorbed. Now, don't get me wrong, self-centeredness is one of the traits of a narcissist. However, someone who is self-centered can still have empathy or understanding of others' feelings, whereas a narcissist has no empathy for others. It's truly all about them. Now, obviously, if you want concrete answers to determine if your partner has narcissistic personality disorder, then you will need to speak to a therapist and go through their assessment. However, what I am going to do for you today is offer you some very common traits and behavior that narcissists portray. So number one is the most obvious: self-entitlement. They have this giant inflated ego. The world revolves around them. They are the center of the universe and everything should go to them. And they will lash out at you in rage when they don't get their way. They can even get vengeful and figure out ways to try to get you back. Number two, narcissists are attention seekers. They're always looking for compliments and validation and will surround themselves by family or people who consistently stroke their ego and continuously compliment or tell them how amazing and how perfect they are. Number three, narcissists usually don't have many friends. They tend not to be able to keep friendships because they make everything about them and they have a hard time being happy for anyone else, even their so-called friends. So this could be exhausting. All they want to do is talk about themselves. When they're with their friends, they want their friends to talk about them and compliment them or point out their greatness, their achievements, etc. So it gets exhausting. And their friends that they do have tend to be someone they feel is inferior to them and whom they can control and manipulate. Number four, narcissists obsessed with status and people in high ranks. And many times they will tend to look for a career that fits this criteria. Now, obviously, there are many other people that seek these careers for the honorable or the right reasons. But for narcissists, it's all about power and feeding their grandiose persona. Number five, they cannot handle any criticism or advice, even if it's constructive criticism, because they feel like they know more than anyone. They actually get angry or annoyed if you volunteer any of this. Number six, narcissists tend to put down or make fun of others to make themselves look better. It's like their fun pastime. Seven, narcissists never say they're sorry because they have no empathy or because this would mean that they would have to admit and acknowledge they did something wrong, and they just cannot do that. Number eight, narcissists have problems with rules and boundaries. They hate being told what to do. And again, this goes back to the sense of entitlement. They feel that they should be allowed to do whatever they want. However, if you are even 5 minutes late or you screwed up in some minuscule way, it'll end up being the end of the world. They will fall apart on you and they will make sure to let you have it. Number nine, a narcissist will often make promises they have no intention on keeping just so they can get that thing that they want from you at that moment. 10, narcissists cannot be called out on their behavior. They will deny everything or anything that ever happened. They will tell you that you're crazy or that you imagined it. Gaslighting is their superpower. It's everyone's fault, everyone else's fault, everyone else is wrong. Number 11, narcissists tend to use emotional blackmail often. They tend to use this especially with family members and their partners. They'll tell you they're going to kill themselves if you don't give them what they want, or they threaten to cut you out of their lives forever. And lastly, a narcissist will sometimes get involved in things that appear to be kind and generous, like a charity, but they will only be doing it for show, to make themselves look good or to make themselves appear a certain way to others. But the minute that they don't get the validation or the honorability that they're seeking, then they will pull right out. If you have been with a narcissist or have a family member that is, then you are probably shaking your head in agreement about most of these traits. I unfortunately have had the displeasure of having narcissists in my life at one time or another. And so I know how unbelievably grueling and difficult it is to deal with. If it's a family member, it's even more difficult because you can't just kick them to the curb. You love them, you worry about them, you want to see good for them. But there's really not much you can do. They would have to voluntarily seek professional help. Because if you try to force them or coerce them, they might end up going in the end, but they will not discuss the actual issues with the therapist. And they might even turn it around and try to make it that it's all about you and how everything is your fault. Remember that they pride themselves on getting over and on being smarter than most, even therapists. So it might end up being a giant waste of time. If you are currently in a relationship with a partner who is a narcissist or any other type of abusive behavior, please remember that life is too short, and please remember that they are probably not going to change. I have personally known many people who have lost themselves so deeply in these relationships, and it took them years to recover. It took a lot of therapy and a lot of disentanglement from what was real and what wasn't, and their self-esteem took a giant nosedive. Maybe you're on the fence and they're still keeping you hanging because they're swearing that they're going to change. But again, if that person is in fact a narcissist, then most likely they won't. Remember, any resemblance of change will only ever happen if they become self-aware and if they self-reflect on their own. And unfortunately, the statistics on this are very low. So you have to ask yourself, am I willing to lose a big chunk of my precious life waiting to see if they will change or not? Only you can decide. And last note, if you are or have been with a narcissist, please don't blame yourself. I have known some very intelligent people that just can't believe they fell for this type of person. But you have to remember that narcissists are really crafty and talented. They usually love bomb you and make you feel like the most special person in the world, the only thing that matters to them. But next thing you know, you're in their web, questioning yourself, trying to figure out this thing or if this event really happened or if it really is you, like they claim, all your fault. And it's hard for people to warn you because narcissists kind of operate on a need-to-know basis, right? So to most outsiders, they come off as charming, sweet, maybe gentle, but it's behind closed doors where there lies an entirely different person. I hope this has clarified this for you. And if you are currently married to a narcissist, I will always say, please see a therapist to help you decide what to do. Don't jump ship without getting all your facts straightened out. But in the same respect, don't accept any form of abuse ever. Thank you again. Please keep sending me your questions and your messages. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification button so that you can be notified when I upload new videos. Thank you again. I will see you next week. Take care.